When you launch The Sims 4, do you ever feel like there's something missing? Will you gladly spend an entire day creating a family or build only to never actually do any gameplay? How about the realization that each core update renders the game unplayable for a period of time by not only breaking your essential mod collection, but by introducing new bugs and glitches to infest your already lackluster experience? What's up guys, Rakowski here, and today we're counting down the top 5 reasons why The Sims 4 is the worst. Before we get started, let me know in the comment section down below what your experience with The Sims 4 has been. Do you have hope that the game can be saved, or have you simply given up and stopped playing altogether? And if I strike a chord with you at any time during this video, be sure to give me a like or maybe even subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. But be warned, if you enjoy smiles, sunshine, and rainbows while playing The Sims 4, this channel and video may not be for you. But fear not, there are thousands of Sims channels out there pretending to enjoy The Sims 4, if that's more your style. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Whether you're a new Sims player or you've been playing for 23 years, you will tragically be familiar with the concept of multiple expansion packs. Although each Sims game is guilty of this practice, the state of The Sims 4 is unlike anything we've ever seen. The original Sims game ended up releasing 7 expansions, more than any other video game at the time. This, however, is a drop in the bucket compared to The Sims 4. As of the time of this video, there is an absurd 68 official DLC packs that have been released for the game. These range from full-price lackluster expansion packs, bugged and broken game packs, to overpriced bite-sized kits that barely add anything to the game. If you foolishly decide to shell out for the whole collection, you will be spending well over $1,000. The packs for The Sims 4 are noticeably lacking and watered down from previous games. In many cases, you need to purchase multiple DLCs from The Sims 4 to even come close to the content available from comparable packs in The Sims 1, 2, or 3. On top of all this, many Sims 4 packs launch before they're even ready for release. Packs such as My Wedding Stories released with catastrophic problems that rendered the game unplayable, while others such as Dine Out have had core issues for years that still remain unaddressed to this day. As a final note about DLC, there have been many Simmers who have praised EA for making the Sims 4 base game free to play, increasing the accessibility of the game to players worldwide. However, the borderline predatory monetization of the game puts these people who didn't have the money to buy The Sims 4 in the first place at risk of being tricked into purchasing DLC with a big price tag and false promises. As it stands, The Sims 4 isn't even a game. It functions primarily as a vessel for the DLC content. It is no surprise that the purpose and goal of any corporation is to make as much money as possible, and video game companies are no exception. However, the route in which this is achieved has changed drastically over the years, especially when it comes to EA and Maxis. When it came to early games such as SimCity and The Sims, EA was willing to invest in new and innovative ideas in hopes that they would pay off in the long run. Of course, now we know that this is exactly what happened. Even the first expansion packs were entirely new concepts and ideas that required faith and hard work to fully develop. And the detail and quality is still felt to this day, with Make and Magic in The Sims 1 remaining the most in-depth spellcaster system in the franchise. For the era of The Sims 2 and 3, the focus was drawing in new players with many more features, 3D graphics, family and social development, and ridiculously in-depth gameplay. However, by this point, EA was very much aware of the potential for monetization, so despite the amount of work put into each project, the customer needed to make many purchases throughout their gameplay experience. As we near the end of The Sims 4's almost decade-long lifespan, it's clear that the game was solely created to falsely broadcast riveting gameplay and features of the past, with cinematic trailers and smiling faces to coerce you into spending yet another $40. The actual game and content takes a back seat, where the marketing and hype are at the forefront. Detailed animations have been replaced with teleportation, previous systems have been stripped down to the bare minimum, and previous innovations, such as seasons, are still sold separately as expansion packs. It's almost as if they're keeping the game as dull as possible in order to trick you into spending more money, and tragically, it ultimately becomes a sunken cost fallacy for many players. Experienced players of The Sims, or any simulation game for that matter, will have encountered some form of simulation lag at one point or another. The genre requires a game to simulate the actions and behaviors of many different people, places, and objects simultaneously, so it can be tricky to optimize an engine, making sure all things in your mini-universe are functioning properly. However, as time has progressed, small, quirky inconveniences have transformed into a tragic, persistent inevitability. The artificial intelligence of The Sims themselves seems to have regressed in quality and believability. Certain improvements in The Sims 4, such as multitasking, have come alongside issues such as delayed sim response, canceling player-selected actions, and an inability to maintain their needs and motives, despite a simplified and easy system. Leaving a sim unattended in The Sims 2 or 3 is usually not an issue, as long as they have basic life skills necessary to survive. In The Sims 4, however, your sim is much more likely to sway back and forth in the attic bathroom before peeing themselves next to the toilet and passing out just steps away from the bed. Another specific problem that occurs in The Sims 4 dates back to the launch of the game. For whatever reason, in order to cancel many interactions, your sim must actually walk all the way to the interaction spot before it's canceled. For example, if your sim is in the basement and they autonomously decide to use something in the attic and you cancel that interaction immediately, your sim will have to climb 5 flights of stairs before they are back under your control. In The Sims 1, 2, and 3, however, sims will almost always stop what they're doing as soon as you command them, allowing you to redirect their actions almost immediately. Up until the release of The Sims 4, all characters introduced into the franchise have, for the most part, stayed within a consistent timeline, maintaining family relationships and stories throughout different games. Sims located at a later point in the timeline often have details, such as family trees and tombstones, that tell the story of the Sims' past, and this is also the case vice versa. These references also align with other games in the franchise, making the whole series, at least up until The Sims 4, cohesive and consistent. As mentioned before, it's no secret that The Sims 4 had a very rushed launch. The combined failure of SimCity and EA winning the worst company of the year for 2 years in a row caused the game to release in an unfinished state. After a disastrous release, The Sims 4 claimed to be on an alternate timeline, when it was clear that EA just couldn't be bothered to spend an afternoon adding a shred of detail to any Sims or their stories. Sims in the base game, and most future DLC packs, have absolutely no family tree, history, memories, or even a shred of resemblance to their previous counterparts. Of course, in The Sims 4, we got some familiar faces, such as the Goths, but their stories and identity have been largely forgotten, and in the case of the Calientes, their personalities and appearances don't even really match with the previous versions of the family. 9 years later, we have gotten a whopping 2 underwhelming townie updates, and we're still stuck with Katrina Caliente, whose presence in the franchise is nothing short of baffling. Oh my god, breaking news guys, did you hear? EA has announced a new expansion pack for The Sims 4! Wow, look at all these build-buy items! And it comes with a new world? It's beautiful! I can't wait till it comes out! Does this scenario seem familiar to you? Chances are, as a simmer, you've lived this reality several times. A new pack is announced and everyone gets all excited. Sims news channels, even the ones who do nothing but complain about the game they barely play, are riveted with joy and anticipation in a performance that is nothing short of Oscar-worthy. Your social feeds are flooded with new and exciting details about the new pack and theories as to what you can expect. Sim gurus post cryptic tweets a few days before release, and simmers go nuts over speculation and rumors. Release day finally arrives. James and Kayla's reviews have been out for 2 days, and their copycats start pumping out tumbleweed content. And you guessed it, crickets. No one cares, in a week no one will remember, and the cycle starts again with more nonsense, baseless speculation about cars and fairies coming to the game. Well, that does it for my 5 reasons why The Sims 4 is just awful. Let me know, are you still playing The Sims 4? Did you recently dish out your hard-earned money for a boring, trendy expansion pack? At this point, the game is like a toxic, lazy boyfriend who just gives you enough joy and attention to keep you paying his bills. But I digress. Let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe for some more retro-focused Sims content. And a special thanks goes out to my dedicated Simmers for sponsoring today's video. You guys are the best. See you in the next one. Boom.